Welcome to Soltron. This is the video review for the DX Kiramaizin. And here's a size comparison with the Shinkalion Combiner, the Boomboonjer, and the Dononi Taijin, which I think is the best Power Rangers robot ever. And you can see he's small. He's, I think, maybe the smallest Power Rangers robot ever. Maybe Lightspeed Rescue is about the same size. Oh, I forgot to put Starscream in there. So yeah, he's a good, like, big leader class size robot. Here's his box. It's quite nice. So nice picture of him on the cover. And then like a couple of the play features of this set. That's about it. So, and then very cool shot of all the Rangers in the top. That actually looks very cool. And then you get, of course, his instructions. Nothing special there, just newsprint. And here we get a 360 view of the robot. And you can see he's got a lot of the translucent plastic. I would say that's really the only stylish thing that's happening on this robot is all the clear red and blue, pink and green and yellow plastic. I think really gives him an interesting vibe. But that's about it. His proportions are terrible. His legs are huge and blocky and really fat. This arm's a little fat. This one's way too skinny and withered. His chest sticks out way too far. And his head is just very tiny and it's just buried way back here. And then his torso is like this long. Like his proportions are awful. He's not a good looking robot. And then let's get a close-up of that head sculpt. And this head sculpt is pretty interesting. It's really just this face part, and then it's just all black plastic here. And then he has this other head sculpt, which is more three-dimensional, but this one's kind of flat and just like wrapped around this black plastic. And this head actually looks kind of better in a way because it's not just this mask piece. But yeah, I bought this figure because he was $50 on Amazon Japan, so I thought, why not? I passed up on this guy. I was wrong about Boomboonjer. That was a really good toy. I thought I might be wrong about this guy, and I was wrong about being wrong. He's very bad. So yeah, let's get into his accessories. So he's got this sword, which is just a plane that's like folded up. It does, oh, I forgot to stick out the point, didn't I? It does have like this little point to make it more sword-like. But yeah, this the transformation on this is bad. It would have made more sense if the wings like would have rotated up or something and become like the sides of the sword. It doesn't work. It doesn't resemble a sword. It's just like this fat thing he's holding. I guess it resembles a sword. I can't take that away from it. But yeah, that's his accessory. Yeah, not so great. And then for articulation, he's got no head articulation because the way his head is done. This head is fused into the car, so that's not going to rotate. His arm does have nice rotation, this arm. It does, I don't know if this is supposed to rotate independently. Kind of, it just rotates however it wants. Whatever joint it wants to use is what it's going to use, but feels pretty good. I don't mind this at all. One thing about the shoulder joints is they are a little weak. So if you do have he's holding his fat sword here, he can't really support the weight of this thing. Like it'll hold, but as soon as you like tap it, the whole thing's gonna basically sag. So it takes very little force, but that's fine. He's not holding heavy things, so it's not that big a deal. But his shoulders are a little bit weak, but nice, fun, springy ratchets. And then he's got this outward motion here, which makes his arm look more like Revenge of the Fallen Megatron. And then he's got, of course, curling iron elbows, because why not? Let's just make this arm as terrible as possible. And then he's got this wrist that does this. And he's also got this little tiny useless thumb because he actually pegs in weapons in this hole. He doesn't actually hold his weapons or anything with this claw, and you can't anyway, so yeah, that's that. And this arm has like equally springy shoulder, and then it does have the outward here, which is kind of a weird place for it, and then it doesn't lock in place. So it's got outward motion, sort of, but it doesn't really count. No elbow joint. I guess he does have this weapon feature if you unpeg. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, that was really weird. I don't know why that was so hard to get out, but this can like rotate and you get the whole ladder, truck ladder thing going. So he can like shoot this giant cannon. That's kind of cool. It's still too bad they couldn't work in an elbow here, but that's not what this guy was really designed for. And then of course he can do like forward kicks because these guys can usually do that. And then you can see the issue with him doing forward kicks. He's clearly not meant to do that. And then he has no back kick because there's just so much junk happening back here. He just can't do it. So yeah, that's the articulation of this guy. You're going to get no action, zero action poses. He is a traditional Megazord with articulated shoulders and hips, and that's about it. No knees, no ankle tilt, nothing special. Yeah, really sad, because I remember when I saw the artwork of this guy or the suit, I was really excited for this series because the suit just looks so amazing. And this robot, this robot's a huge fail. I don't get how these proportions are so bad. But anyway, he's got this other feature you can do where he has like, he can turn into this, which is like the ground mage. And then you can transform this helicopter by just rotating these pieces. And I guess we want that to be up and spinning. And then you take the sword here and you just split this into a pair of pants. You put the handle back up. And then you can combine this and this into a Sky Mage. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, okay. It was just way more forward oriented than I thought. And then you get like the Sky Mage who can like fly around, and then you get this giant here, a giant. So that's kind of cool that he's got these two extra little modes, and this is kind of like a little fairy that just like flies around him. That's kind of awesome. And this is made of all the land vehicles, so that's pretty cool. I don't hate that, but if they could have sacrificed these modes and just made this robot better, I would have much preferred that. And you can see without his chest piece on, his chest actually looks very good. Like the abs look like they're the right size. You get the crotch piece here. His proportions actually look better like this. And without his goofy sword, I think this actually looks better than his combined mode, which is very sad. But yeah, so that's that mode, not much else to say. And then you go ahead and just rip off all the vehicles. So we take off the excavator, the car, and then you can take off the two flying vehicles. We can just turn this back into a jet, and it looks like this. And it's got like this really cool foil effect going on under the translucent plastic, and if you to give it more of a crystal effect, so that's pretty cool. So here's the jet. Nothing special there. Didn't even bother doing the cockpit paint because why would you on this set? And then the helicopter, you just rotate these arms back, rotate the head up, clip the arms together, and now you got a decent helicopter. The blades are very offset, so they're very wonky, but it mostly works. And then he's got like this foil sticker on the underside, which is not great. At least the blue one hides it in plastic, but it definitely looks like a helicopter. Don't hate that. And then the car you just snap together, and now it's a car. And it actually looks pretty cool. I always love clear plastic, so I'm definitely like the target audience for this robot. And then you just rotate the scoop around, and there you have the excavator, and you're gonna hide this thumb. You rotate it back into the arm, but now it's kind of like stuck inside the scoop. Okay, there you go. And there we go. The excavator also looks very cool. And you really can't complain about that at all. It looks very awesome. And then you just sandwich the legs, point the toes, rotate. Oh, he does have waist articulation, but it breaks the sculpt completely. It just doesn't work, so that's a shame. And then you just sit him forward here, and there you have the fire truck, which looks very cheap, actually. It doesn't look good. The clear red just doesn't work. The foil, I think, helps in this area, but with the wheels and everything just gets mushed together. It just looks like a lump of red. It doesn't look good. And then that's basically all his vehicles, and they're pretty small. This is almost Matchbox size. It's a little bit bigger than a Matchbox car. And this guy the fire truck could maybe scale with like some deluxe transformers, but this is way too small. So these are like mini vehicles. They're definitely more the size of Matchbox cars. So I think they scale pretty well with that. And then finally, they can do one other thing, is you can just basically crumple up this car and it becomes a crystal, I guess. So it's like that crystal. And then you just fold these up, and then that's the red crystal. That's all it does. Oh, is it upside down? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. You could have it either way. It's supposed to be a ruby. And then you get this, and you fold this one up, and that's the sapphire, I guess. And then you fold this up, and this is whatever the yellow thing is. It's a yellow crystal. I think it goes like this. And then the pink one, you're just going to fold the blades, fold the arms down, and then you can push this in to kind of lock it in place. And there's the whatever pink crystal is, quartz, I guess. But yeah, so that's this set. I don't like it. It's so disappointing. It had so much potential. It just needed better articulation, better